Shit.
Welcome back to the Mantry podcast. I'm Reggie Milligan. I'm a co-founder at Mantry. The goal of this podcast is to help you cook better. And we do that with quick episodes that have digestible, easy to use tips so you can take them home back into your kitchen and you can make good things happen. We know people don't always have time to sit down and read, don't always have time to even get into the kitchen and practice. So take 10 minutes a day or a week with us, and we promise we'll help you cook better. So today's episode, we're covering 6 cookbooks that will improve your life. These are 6 of the best cookbooks I know and that I see other people rave about. A lot of them I've learned about from other chefs. So I wanted to quickly run down the list. There's 6 of them. This will probably take 5 or 6 minutes. But if you choose one of these that sounds interesting to you, I guarantee you'll be inspired by it. It'll be full of great information and it'll help you cook better. So number 1. On the list here, 7 Fires, Francis Mallmann. So Francis Mallmann kind of has come into vogue recently because of Netflix. Chef's Table was one of the first episodes Netflix Chef Table covered was Francis Mallmann. He's this wild Argentinian guy who's been cooking over live fire for years. And he's actually a classically trained Michelin star type chef that kind of went rogue, went into the country of Argentina and started doing these amazing open fire grilling restaurants down there. And his original book that came out probably 10 or 15 years ago now is called 7 Fires, Grilling the Argentinian Way. And it is just littered with amazing ways of not only like setting up cooking apparatuses, so 5 or 6 different, maybe 7 ways of different contraptions that you can cook over wood fire, but also very, very beautiful, clean recipes using not too many ingredients, but really getting into detail of how to cook over live fire. And if you've never cooked over a bonfire or over live fire, it is totally different than cooking in a kitchen, and it's flat out more fun. And it's cleaner, because you're not clogging up your kitchen and splattering grease everywhere. And man, to grab a big glass of wine and get out over a bonfire and start fooling around over a cast iron skillet, I'm telling you, it's the most fun you can have cooking. So 7 Fires is an amazing book. He came out with another book recently, but if you haven't got one of Mallmann's books, I would definitely recommend doing 7 Fires. It's a James Beard Award winner, which is kind of like the Oscars for food. And so, awesome book. It'll get you excited to cook. Number 2, for the meatheads out there, for the people interested in butchery and in just meat as a category, the River Cottage Meat book, used by Hugh Fernley Whittenstall, classic UK writer, restaurant owner. Hugh is. It is just basically a glossary of great meat recipes, great butchering techniques, classic advice surrounding meat. There's kind of a myth out there you can learn anything on the internet these days, and with a lot of great cookbooks, to be honest, you're going to find a lot of like pretty average blog posts, and picking up a really great how-to book or glossary book is going to blow any blog post you find on the internet out of the water. And River Cottage Meat book is a great example of that. Like, it's just really hard to find the quality of information in one place comparative to what you'd find in River Cottage Meat. So that's a great one for people that love meat, that want to learn more about butchering, that type of thing. 3, Franklin Barbecue by Aaron Franklin. Aaron Franklin runs Franklin Barbecue down in Austin. Very much a must-do if you go to Austin. It's on every list of restaurants to eat at, best barbecue joints in the country. I think it's closed right now for some renovations, but anyway, his book, A Meat Smoking Manifesto, Franklin Barbecue, will teach you a lot that you need to know about doing your own home barbecue. And I mean, his brisket is famous world over. Anthony Bourdain traveled there, various food shows. But it's really an inside-out look at the process of good barbecue, the wood you're using, the fire, the temperatures, the rubs, the cooking techniques, and it's a real thorough breakdown. Also, it's just a beautiful book with great photography. But for somebody that's interested in getting into home smoking and barbecuing at home, Franklin Barbecue by Aaron Franklin, fantastic book. The next one, a lot of people don't really know about this one, bit of a sneaky one, flies under the radar unless sort of in the chef circle. The Bread Baker's Apprentice by Peter Reinhardt. This is a classic baking book. And baking is a whole nother world from cooking, really. It's an exact science for the most part. Bakers in general are totally different people than cooks. It's exact. You got to be thorough with your measurements. There's a lot of sort of like feel involved with it, with kneading the bread, making sure the dough's at the right point. And this book does an amazing job of kind of covering the gamut of different bread baking techniques. The subtext is Mastering the Art of Extraordinary Bread. It is also a James Beard Award winner. So again, this is the cookbook of the year from the James Beard Awards a couple of years back. Bread Baker's Apprentice. So if you want to kind of dive into baking your own bread and getting into that, this is a great place to start, The Bread Baker's Apprentice. Next book I recommend, Pok Pok, Andy Ricker. So Andy is kind of the most celebrated Caucasian Thai chef in America. He's basically a white guy that spent years and years and years in northern Thailand. And he specializes in the cuisine of that region. So northern Thai food is a lot different than the southern Thai food. Southern being like green curries, it's pad Thai, that type of thing. Northern Thai food's like a lot of pork based. It's rice country, so you've got the sticky rice up there. You've got fiery, hot, spicy food. And Andy has built a mini empire off of that type of food in his original restaurant in Portland, Pok Pok. He's got one out in New York. But this is like an incredible visual journey through northern Thai cooking. And the photography in this book is incredible. And the recipes are very, very authentic. And he doesn't pull any punches. Like, he'll list the funky fermented paste that you need to find, and he'll give you resources of where to order it from online and all that. But it's very much not like a dumbed down Thai cookbook, which is great because sometimes when you walk into these restaurants like Pok Pok, you go, wow, I've never had Thai food like that. And that's because somebody like Andy Ricker in his restaurants, he's not taking shortcuts. He's finding those authentic ingredients, the best that he can in America or North America, to make the type of food you would taste if you went to Chiang Mai or if you went somewhere in northern Thailand. So with Pok Pok, you have really traditional recipes from a guy that spent years, like I think he's been over there for like 15 or 20 years back and forth, always learning new stuff about Thai cooking. And if you want to kind of know what Andy's all about, Bourdain goes to Chiang Mai, northern Thailand. You can Google the episode, and Andy shows them around. And I mean, they eat everything from blood soup to traditional crispy pork, chicken wings, street food. There's all sorts of things they're doing out there. But that's a great episode to check out to know what Andy's all about. So, Pok Pok by Andy Ricker for people looking to take a deep dive into northern Thai food. And finally, The Flavor Bible, Karen Page and Andrew Dornenberg. Such an awesome book. Subtext being the essential guide to culinary creativity based on the wisdom of America's most imaginative chefs. Super cool book because it pretty much plays out like a reference book where it's going to tell you, if I have fennel, this is why fennel and orange goes together. It's going to give you like almost like math, flavor combinations. So if you have an ingredient like cinnamon, it's going to break down all the herbs that work well with cinnamon, the types of cheeses that work well with cinnamon. If you have something like ancho peppers, these are all the type of ingredients that pair well with it. So it's a really great book to crack open when you're kind of staring at, a piece of beef in your fridge and a lump of cauliflower, and you have a pantry full of items. You can crack it open and you can kind of use it as a reference because it will suggest, based on the base ingredient being like steak or white fish or whatever, what flavors and herbs and spices will go with those. So it's a great way of stealing a large glossary of sort of intelligent decision making from chefs. It's called The Flavor Bible. Very helpful step-by-step book. So those are it. That's the 6 cookbooks that I think will improve your cooking. One being 7 Fires, Francis Mullman, everything you need to know about cooking over open fire. 2, for the meat lovers, the River Cottage Meat Book. 3, for people looking to take a deep dive into barbecue, Franklin Barbecue by Aaron Franklin. For people looking for bread baking and learning how to really learn how to make great bread, The Bread Baker's Apprentice. 5, lovers of Thai food who want to learn lots about true, quote unquote, authentic. I know Andy doesn't necessarily like that word, but authentic Thai cooking. Number 5 is Pok Pok. Number 6, The Flavor Bible, just an amazing reference book, almost like a math textbook, where you can use it as a great reference for what flavors work with what other flavors, and learn all about how a chef sort of puts together a dish based on complementing flavors. So those are the 6 books. Great references. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll be back again. We hope this helps you cook better. Thank you.
Up all night.